Hello, BTS America fans, and welcome back. We are getting into a very hype series here. It's game number 3 of E.Wolves Unit versus Shazam. I'm KotLGuy. I'm going to be joined again remotely from the one and only RyuUboruZDotA, master of mid lane and now new support player.
10 seconds.
Ryu, here we go again. Last game, we predicted wrong again. We predicted wrong both times on how the game's going to unfold. I do have to say, though, it was a bit clowny, more so on the side of E.Wolves for that last one. They made some pretty crazy, ambitious pushes and attempts and ganks, and sometimes they got punished too hard for it. And when you're going against a bounty hunter and you get punished, you tend to fall behind in the economy game pretty damn fast. So here we go, Ryu. It's game number 2. We'll see. Do you think Shazam should feel better coming off that game 2 win, and E.Wolves are a team that could tilt a bit more, or do you think the fire will still be there for the Wolves?
Dire team back.
I don't know. It's hard for me to tell because there was a lot of funky stuff happening in the last game, but we could just say it all fell apart early game with Brax dominating in SVG. So it was just easy sledding from the 10 minutes on because they had that early 6 on Bounty Hunter, even though they placed like a million sentry wards. That would be a highlight reel for me, just placing 10 sentries in a line, forcing the Bounty Hunter to die like 3 times, and he was like, Oh hell no! You ain't killing me anymore. I'm getting myself a gem. And it was pretty funny to watch that. But yeah, you just see the ban coming out from the bounty hunter there. It's a respect ban. The roamers in this patch have been put in too much work. Enchantress, bounty hunter, Earth Spirit. You have to ban those heroes.
You can tell Shazam by the way they banned. They really wanted to get something tasty with their first pick. A ban on Enchantress and Ursa is, it's formidable, but this could leave them with huge options like the Earth Spirit, maybe if they wanted to go early Lauren Druid and stuff like that, but they opt for the Beastmaster, which I think is a terrific pick for them. I've seen Mojo and Brax played a lot. Brax is a specialist with it. He played it even in the mid lane when he was there. I imagine he's going to be taking it to the off lane now. This is a scary pickup for E.Wolves, but they have Invoker, Nature's Prophet that could be double Necro Book, let's say. There's double push potential, and we'll get to see Smash play Invoker for the 3rd game straight. Swell
Stuff. We saw the Exort Evoker. He was amazing on it. His Wex Invoker, somebody pointed out in chat, he only had 50 CS in like a 30-minute game, which is atrocious.
Force Staff, Ghost Scepter. That's an Invoker who's building to be on the defensive.
I'm a coward.
Yeah.
I'm running.
Yeah.
Put my tail between my legs and run away, but
10 seconds remaining.
I think this time around they have the Exort. I think he'll go Exort this time around because it's not going to be against the TA, and in all likelihood he's also going to have the Nature Prophet, going to help out with that global presence and the pushing power coming in with the Forge Spirits. So it's going to be interesting to see Shazam go back for that Tusk roaming around kind of strategy. Or actually, it was the first game of E.Wolves. They got the Tusk for themselves, and they comboed it up with the Slardar. This time around, it's Shazam putting it with the Beastmaster, and I'm curious to see if they can get really aggressive on the Invoker in the mid lane. I think DP will come to mind. There's still the DP Oracle combination. It's not. I think it's pretty good in this situation.
Yeah.
Especially against the Invoker.
Oh yeah. DP is definitely very plausible here. Could see a pickup, but Tusk though, very very common grab for someone like SVG. He was probably his most played hero while he was on Cloud9, and definitely has done a lot of work with it, so would not be surprised for him to grab it there. They have map control now, and they have early intimidation with this, so it's a good early formula for Shazam. And as the bans come out here, Slardar getting the nod from Shazam, not a common ban, but one that they kind of fear in this particular series against E.Wolves, who did pull it out in game number 1. OD going to get banned out here. And they will opt for the Gyrocopter now, so they get their own share of team fight, and we did find a lot of good success with it in E.Wolves game number 1, so it's probably also a bit of a comfort pick for them.
If I was drafting in this situation, I would pick Oracle and DP. This is just a really good situation to be put in. Maybe the Oracle is not the best for dealing with the Treants early on with the Nature's Prophet, but the mid-game synergy, I think it's great. You can help out with all the the magical burst damage with the Invoker and the Gyrocopter by just putting Fate's
Reserve
Edict on
time.
somebody. And then you can just take all the damage away with False Promise. I'm trying to figure out what other good heroes there are left for the mid lane for Mojo to play. Obviously, we talked about the Puck. He's really good on that hero too.
Mhm.
This is not a TA game, so we won't be seeing his stellar performance once again on that hero. There's just way too much right-click damage coming in, and TA would get shredded. So
Yeah, I mean, the
what else is there,
DP,
though?
like the
DP
DP
and
mentioned
Puck is just
before, and
screaming
Puck.
at me.
Yeah, it's hard to really gauge what could be a possible follow-up here, unless he wants to pull out something fun, something we saw from EG at Shanghai, and I know
Fudge.
MSS can play, would be a mid lane Nyx assassin. Mid lane
Oh,
Nyx
Nyx.
was something Sumail did a lot, but Mojo can play. He played a lot when he was in the off lane. That would just be something fun to see, but I don't know if they're going to be willing to risk their game 3 for it against Elite Wolves here in the single elimination prestigious BTS Americas. We'll have to see, but Winter Wyvern is going to be the grab. Winter Wyvern Tusk, it's a frosty duo. Not a common one picked up, but you know, you get your defensive capabilities with the Cold Embrace. It can work out okay
10
against
seconds
Gyrocopter, can be a
remaining.
bit risky, but he has great has great
5
outspam
seconds
when you're
remaining.
going against the likes of a Nature's Prophet and stuff. That Splinter Shot can do a lot of work to get some farm
Reserve
throughout the
time.
game when you're stopping those aggressive side lanes.
It's a nice hero to have when you either have a Sven on the enemy team who's looking to burst somebody down heavily. You just put that ulti on somebody else, they immediately kill themselves, and they're in a situation where they're kind of grouped up and they can't cast any items or anything, and then you can just have some good turnarounds. And in this case scenario, they're just doing it for the mass summons right now coming out from Elite Wolves. So that's going to help them out to re-engage. Elite Wolves, yeah, that's a good hero. He's going to touch on
Radiant
some
team
sustain they
pick.
could use. Witch Doctor now. It's going to be a good hero. Helps out early against the Beastmaster in the offlane. I'm very curious why they didn't ban it for Shazam, and maybe they could even picked it up themselves against the Nature's Prophet.
Oh yeah,
So.
definitely. That could have been a good spot instead of the Wyvern there, but they are putting more favor in the Wyvern. I guess Wyvern isn't terrible against Witch Doctor. You know, you have that long range
10 seconds
BKB
remaining.
piercing ultimate. We know the ultimate's been changed quite a bit, and it can
5
be
seconds
useful in the
remaining.
likes of Witch Doctor. That could just lead to easy kills and a quick and easy pickoff.
Reserve
But
time.
nonetheless, it will be Elite Wolves who get to secure the Mighty Doctor on his side, and we'll have to see. Shazam still need to get that Mojo hero for the mid lane. We already mentioned the Puck. We already mentioned DP, but they will go for TC's
Dire team back.
Troll Chiefs. Core
Why
grab.
do they do this? It's so.
Why did they do this?
Why do they do this? Look, all right. This is why I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
You can pick up Zeus and
Radiant
Spectre.
team
Maybe they.
ban.
Okay, so they're not even scared of the Zeus. Never mind. I'm just gonna throw everything out the window.
So they're getting
This would be a
Zeus.
perfect game for me, though. I just obviously Gyrocopter's the one who's gonna be building the BKB only. Invoker gets it about fourth item-ish or
10
third
seconds
if you're
remaining.
really pressured. But you have Beastmaster with Roar
5
and capability of
seconds
being
remaining.
everywhere on the map. Now you have Spectre with the Haunt. I guess maybe
Reserve
Shazam,
time.
they're still going to get the Zeus. Or Elite
Dire
Wolves are not
team
scared of it. They're like, hey, you can pick it and we're going to
Yeah, what are they going to get now? So if it is going to be a Zeus here, it's got to be a support. It's Silence. I don't know. What is Pugna? Pugna's ward. Oh, man, that thing owns Zeus. Could add to push with Nature's Prophet. That'd be fun, but I doubt they'll go for it. So we got to see.
I need an Initiate hero right now.
Spirit
Give me
Breaker.
a...
There you
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
That's an issue.
As I
Radiant
say it,
team
spot
pick.
on.
Spirit Breaker, the Mighty Cowman, will be coming out. Can add that early game pressure to not just the mid laner, whoever it may be, but also the Spectre. And now they don't have to worry about the Puck being there, being very elusive. So, so you just fall back for the DP at this point. But I would love to see something.
Ember Spirit.
Ember Spirit, Ember Spirit. This is a greedy ass lineup. Whoa. Okay, and we're in the game.
Yeah, you're expecting to farm a Battle Fury and TC farming up something. I don't
Prepare
think he
for
can go
battle.
Radiance this game, but it would be perfect for him. Maybe if they have a really good early game like they did last time, he could, you know. But this is one of those games where you go Urn, Drums, and then you'll probably be forced into the Manta style if you're still in the game. Because Elite Wolves, this is another thing. They're on the dire side now. They have. It looks like they're going to put the pressure on constantly. And can Shazam hold on to their towers, hold on to map controls? Else we're going to be seeing the same repeat of the first game, I feel. So I'm not going to mess up. I'm not going to pick Shazam, and I'm going to go first. I'm going to say Elite Wolves are going to win this. They're on the dire side.
Okay.
And like you said, Shazam have the Ember Spirit and the Spectre. It's going to take too long for them to come online.
And I will say Shazam are going to do it. I feel like maybe Elite
30
Wolves,
seconds
with
to
already
battle.
what's been kind of a very sketchy play style they've pulled out this series, are not going to be able to find a lot of success in the early game. And Shazam will be able to play the economy game and end up being the big victors in the end. And because you picked Elite Wolves and I picked Shazam, we don't know who's going to end
It's
up
the
winning.
KotL curse, man.
Yeah.
I already knew I was going to win this, and you were going to do this. That's why I
So
said
now
that.
it could be anybody's. It could be the Ryu curse for all we know. So we'll find out soon. Game is underway. Elite Wolves will be picking up the
battle
rune on the
begins.
bottom for Smash. This is Deja Vu ×2 now. We'll look at this mid lane Invoker. Grab up that first rune. Jason is going to be probably doing that level 1 Arctic Burn. Don't you love it when you're a mid laner? Just casually fly in and hit him with a ridiculous amount of damage. In fact, he might
Back
try
to
to
the old
see
bet.
to, spot out the courier on the way in, but the courier is not coming. So
Oh, they're going to charge bottom lane. They're going to put on so much pressure onto TC. Here he's going to force to, already use all of his mana, basically, in this situation because it costs 130.
he does have
And
Mako,
then he's going to...
yeah.
He's going to have to salve soon. Well, he's going to use another Tango, probably. And they're putting on pressure to the tower.
Oh, and even top lane? No, that's just Brax. Very close to the creep wave there. But the nice thing for him, he's Beastmaster. He's got beasts and ways to mitigate that pesky rocket barrage if Gyro does get a bit frisky. But speaking of getting frisky, it is bottom lane where Mystico's just continually looking up the dress here of Spectre right now. Making him move on TC. Mid lane, though, they made their move. Mojo, Chain, Sunstrike. Both will be a bit damage sidestepped. That doesn't even make sense. But the chains were there. Smash will force him to kind of step back. He will be forced to use a salve, but Witch Doctor is nearby to help in a moment's notice. And there will be still no first blood, even though a lot of aggression is coming out.
That was really good because the Witch Doctor came in, Smash didn't buy a salve and get the courier picked off. And then the Witch Doctor gave him one. So now he's going to have his boots online. And they dodged the gank. They put on a lot of pressure to the Spectre. So TC is not going to be having the best time. And they have the level 2 almost on Van and M-God here. But at the same time, Brax is level 3 for God knows what reasons. Oh my goodness, how is this happening?
It's Brax. He's got 4 CS, but he has not really been muscled back and out of the lane. And he gets farm on a Beastmaster.
Oh my!
That's
Are you
convenient.
serious?
That's convenient. That could have been, if it jumped to the board, that could have been an absolute shit show, but... And that said, he'll be able to mitigate the poor boar. Will hand over his own life, so Brax only takes a little bit of damage. And we'll be able to step back and salve up. So he continues his strong presence here in the off lane. But Spirit Breaker is also rotated to that top lane, so we'll try to keep tabs on it if the charge will be coming out. But this will free up a bit for the TC bottom lane. It did force a couple of supports to rotate to the bottom here for Shazam to kind of secure the lane for him, but he's happy to get a bit of it now.
Yeah, this is where I dislike Masoko going for the Voodoo Restoration level 2. With this extra charge and with the mail deck, they could have potentially got him down, but Brax has been playing this top lane amazing. He's used his boar, sacrificed it, so they weren't able to pull. Now they're forced to dive like this. Do they have any TP support?
Eats an early tango to start the regen of flow in here. Coconut will be forced to go through the creeps, only connects on Brax the one time. There is going to be the bash. Walks right into the Sunstrike, but it's not the Sunstrike that gets the finish. It will be the Witch Doctor. Oh, yeah. Will we get the first blood in the first strike there for Elite Wolves.
And it's always nice when you get a kill early on when you're a support player. It just makes you feel good. He's like, I can buy the courier or the crow and I can get my boots.
That's wonderful.
So he's not gonna have the worst game as we saw
Radiant's
last
top
time. It was
tower
just
is under attack.
I'm gonna have to buy 1,000,000 sentries. Oh, I'm not gonna get any items.
Smash almost picking that one up. He has got now his boots en route here. Opted to go with the early Bassi and still holds the null. But now we'll have the bit of mobility to go with it. Meanwhile, a bit of an interesting rotation coming out. Shazam towards this mid lane. Savage now looking to go on the move. His Cloud9 days are
Van
back
is
once
getting
more.
initiated on here by TC, but just gonna waste his mana. And there's no TP on Van, so he can't really go back. Oh, he can go back now. He's got 50 mana.
He's got it now, if necessary. Still thinking about it,
He should just go back so he can come back in lane.
TC, though, throws the dagger. And that will be enough to force the TP out. He gets back to base and will be able to heal on up and be just fine. We still see Savage kind of running around this mid lane a bit on his Tusk, looking to get proactive here. Might have to be on this top lane where they're thinking about another move for Brax. Brax resummons and now makes his advancement forward. And here comes Shazam right in from behind. There's going to be the snowball. Jason even rotates in for this one. And they're going to get the splinter shot. Oh, one of them connects on the courier. Doesn't do any damage, but that was interesting. Nonetheless, does get the two-man takedown. That will also be Gyrocopter. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Mystico looking for his own trade, has charged in. Looking to get a grab here on TC. TC, though, throws out the OP dagger and will walk through the trees and make it away to safety. And yeah, Mr. Mystico is not going to be able to get the vision there. TC will be forced to wait for 10 mana, though, before he can TP out.
And the worst part about it is he doesn't have his ulti, so he can't easily come back to the lane or go gank anywhere. So nice time to apply pressure here from MGod. At the same time, that haste rune coming in for Mojo, and they have no wards up on the map. I think one of them got de-warded early on, and then the other one's here in the mid lane. So they don't have any vision right now. Obviously, both of them are sitting on Masoko. He just placed one here in the top. How much vision does that
Oh,
give?
what a bro.
That's pretty good.
Savage instead will just come to this bottom lane, meet TC as he cuts his way out, and will be able to hand over. Oh, but he bumped TC on the way in, looking to go for Savage. Jason's here now. Splinter shot is out. Snowball will save him. Mystico eating a lot of damage from under the tower, but they made their move for the bigger target, and that is Van, and that will be a kill. All right, so Jason, again, just suddenly shows up. He's in good time. And they'll be awarded with a big core grab. And now Shazam have advanced their lead up to 3-1. Brax continues to farm up. He's level 5.5 now, and about 6 minutes in.
That's the problem when you run this kind of lineup, and in which what I'm talking about is where you have the Tusk constantly roaming around. It gives a lot of fear. Charge, bottom lane. They're really going for this.
Rotation even coming in from Van, but Mystico again going to be eating heavy firepower coming out from Jason. He put 2 points in that splinter shot, and you can see why, man. It's been doing a lot of work.
I'm very curious to see why they did that. Maybe they didn't have, well, they didn't have vision of where the Winter Wyvern was, but he was at 40% HP on the Spirit Breaker. So, and they also could have just waited for the Invoker to rotate over. Smash was coming. He had a double damage rune. If they were waited 5 seconds, they would have probably gotten a double kill. So, big mistakes right now from Elite Wolves.
Alright, rotation up here from Savage. Knows now he will not be spotted as he drops down the sentry and is level 4. 2 points in the Q and the W. Mystico is here at level 3 waiting in the wings. And now they'll know they've been spotted out. Savage gets hit with the Nature's Wrath, so there's vision somewhere for him. They're just not too sure exactly where it is coming from at the moment, and we'll be a bit puzzled here. But for the other part of Shazam, they have now smoked up Ryu, and they are heading up north. Let's see if they can find any sort of potential setup here. Ewo is very close to him right now, and this could be a disaster for the Gyrocopter if not careful, but he leads in with the call down, looking to go for Brax. Brax can't get the ulti off, gets saved up from a nice snowball. Triple Remnant, smash style, comes out from Mojo, and gets a quick snipe on the Gyrocopter. They're looking to make a go. The chains doesn't connect, but they still get the kill nonetheless. And they might even make it a sweet 3-man takedown here as they grab a hold of Masoku. And it is going to be TC who picks that one up. He is now on a killing spree himself. 7-1 for Shazam at about 8 minutes in.
Yep, SVG is making all the plays once again. And the turnarounds are real, but Mojo, he's looking very comfortable now in these last 2 games on the mid. He's getting the extra love with that rune earlier on. Now, if he finds this haste rune, I'm just saying this is your game to lose, Mojo, and I'm very impressed with them right now. I'm surprised Van didn't try to TP in. Maybe they just felt like it was all over. I guess since the play was like, oh, well, since they already got the save from the Tusk, if he TPs in, probably he's gonna die. But
without his presence, there really was no chance. Not to say that there would have been a chance if he was there. It's hard to gauge, and maybe they just feel him farming is going to be a bit more valuable at this time. He'll continue to do so and now takes his business to his own jungle and will continue to grind up the farm there. We'll see that he is looking to finish out what I imagine being maybe a build-up toward an Orchid. So looking to favor the silence here. Very nice against the Ember Spirit, of course. It's just a matter of if he's going to be able to have enough power behind that from the rest of his team to really make the most of it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, even though they're down 6 kills, it's 7-1. It kind of looks like a stomp. They're winning in the gold department right now by only 500. They're just farming efficiently everywhere on the map. It's just the problem where Shazam have these huge ultimates online. If anybody get roared, they don't really have any way to save anybody. I mean, mid lane's dead. Once again, Mojo, the rune god this game, is gonna.
Another nice little haste rune for him allows the easy takedown and snipe of the poor little witch doctor.
Radiant's
And pushes up the lead now
bottom tower is
8-1
under
here.
attack.
Mojo with near 1,600 gold. He wants to build up and get a drums or build up into the battle fury first. His
Radiant's
options are now
bottom
open
tower
and
has
that
been
much easier to
denied.
go for. While you see the support staff from E.Wolves, they need to build up the levels and get those level 6s ready to go. Top lane might need some rotational assistance here. Ewo gets caught out with a big gank. Even the roar going to be committed. TC's with the haunt, and TC gets the kill, dominating for him. Shazam continue to go on a big killing tear right now, and E.Wolves are just still trying to find their own response.
Yeah, we talked about it. When I was talking about their last pick, it's like, where do they get their initiation from? It's kind of all on the Spirit Breaker right now, and maybe the Furion coming in with Sprouts, but it's just not
Dire's
happening,
top
and they
tower
have
is
no
under
way of
attack.
dealing with this Ember Spirit.
Dire's
And when you look
structures
back
are
on it, it's like, huh, they had nothing to catch out Ember Spirit, so he's going to have an amazing time early on. He's 1-0-5. If he had a little bit more kills, he would have his Boots of Travel, and that's when their lineup starts kicking in.
Boots of Travel, of course. Why didn't I think of the Boots of
Dire's
Travel?
top
He's going to get in a
tower
good
is
time,
under
and that
attack.
is going to just make him so ridiculously mobile. Top lane, charge, cancel at the last moment. A bit too close to that tower, a bit too close to
Dire's
home.
middle tower is under
And
attack.
E.Wolves feeling very uneasy about it. Don't really want to be handing this game over so suddenly. But they are feeling a bit frantic to kind of get the momentum
Radiant's
back
top
their way.
tower is under attack.
Smash didn't. He's got 5 in Exort and 3 in Quas. Oh, my eyes. My eyes.
Classic.
Obviously, you need to have 4 in Quas, so you have 2
He
force
hits hard
strengths,
though.
right?
That's cool. But yeah.
Yeah, there we go. He obviously realized he messed up. I just wanted to point it out before nobody spotted him. Easy call out.
Dire's
You are a
middle
pretty
tower
big
is
Invoker
under
player,
attack.
so it's easy for you to spot out those kind of things. Whereas I am no bueno with Invoker. And it all looks
You
like
should
a
just
bit
play
of a
him.
hot
He's
mess.
really fun.
Dire's
This is the
middle
patch
tower
too.
is under attack.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll if I do, it'd be the jungling Sunstrike Invoker.
I mean, you just do the quads Wex. You just
Dire's
tornado
middle
EMP
tower
cold
is
step.
under
That's all you got to do.
You make it sound easy.
That's what a lot of new Invoker players do. Are they gonna get this denied in the tower?
Radiant's top tower is under
They're
attack.
going for it. They got it.
Dire's
Charge in,
middle
charge
tower
canceled,
has
response. Oh, nice shard block comes in from Savage. Leads to a Primal Roar. Leads to 180 the hell out of there because there is a flank play coming in right from above. It's Evo, it's Musoku, and they will be able to sidestep the coconut. Good double jump comes out from Mojo, and they avoid the incoming trouble. So Shazam will be able to walk away with a nice tier 1 takedown and not lose anyone for it.
Yep. Once again, no initiation. And they're going to scout up the
Radiant's
charge
top
here with
tower
this
is under
nicely
attack.
placed observer ward. At least M-God picked up a rune. Needs to get up that level 6. Charge is not enough to really stick on a target. He's just relying a lot right now on the 17%. But realistically, if they want to get a kill, they're going to need... They know where he is. He's dead.
Bang. Bong. Dead. Mojo makes it look easy there. Van with the self-sprout play! What a play coming out from Van!
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Well, that's probably why we don't see Van rotate very often.
Bottom
this
lane,
game,
we got an
unfortunately.
initiation.
Oh, bottom!
Here we go.
They're jumping
no
in.
Brax!
No, they can't get him. They can't get him, but there is the rotation from Mojo. Call down. Evo is desperate. Can he make it out?
Radiant's
It looks like he
middle
can.
tower is
That
under
remnant's
attack.
going, but it is slow. And it looks like they will not push it to the limit. Jason, though, could be swinging in from the corner. Here comes Elite Wolves. Brax goes down. Invoker gets a good snipe. Savage now going to be sprouted. There's the coconut. Oh, it bounces to Mojo. Death Ward's out, but the snowball will force him to delay it a bit. Jason walks into the Death Ward. Savage uppercut almost gets EO with it. EO's so low. And there he will go down. Brax gets it done from the grave. What a player. Silly game. Mojo.
Like a disaster turned into them going way too early and just wait for Brax to have his ulti. Oh, mid lane. You have the charge here. You can just cancel it so easily.
Oh, he doesn't though. Slights. And Sunstrike will be sidestepped. Vance here now. There's the Sprout. Cuts his way through. Actually didn't even need to use his quelling for that one, but he's on the run. He gets the chains off. He's still running. Go, Mojo, go.
In lane, however, they're going to go on Brax here. He's caught out.
Oh!
And
Cold snap. And they get it done. Oh, what a hectic game. This is turning into a bloodbath now. I'm loving it.
It was once all Shazam show. Now with a little few errors, it's becoming on the side of Elite Wolves. We haven't really seen a Winter's Curse setup from JSN. And they just walked right past the bounty rune. This doesn't look good.
Well, if they grabbed it, they would have seen it. I mean, there is a ward nearby, but they are more focused on getting this TC down. And they will get it. Boom. No mercy here from Elite Wolves. Uh-oh, Savage is here now. Him and Jason. Jason with that Winter's Curse. And that's all. No, nothing.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, top lane, they're putting pressure on too. This Orchid helping out a lot. It might not look like it did a lot there, but here we go, Orchid.
Man, look at the spam happening now. The Orchid's on Brax, but there is no follow-up.
They can run now. They need to get out.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Not worth staying for that tower.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's it. That's it. They're just going to be able to clear things out. Oh. Snowball won't be there in time. Haunt, though, does get the catch onto Mr. 2. Smash will be able to make it away, it looks like. No chase. Lots of chase. Lots of cat and mouse play here, Ryu, but Shazam are actually the team that seem to be coming up a bit short now every time. Elite Wolves taking the biggest net worth advantage of this game so far, just over 2K. They're still in this one. And this is very intense. Game number 3. Winner of this moves on. Loser is done in BTS Americas. Elite Wolves, as we know, on thin ice in the Dota community as it is, looking to play as best as they can with their final moments on that ice.
Yeah, the ice is about to melt after this tournament.
Their future is uncertain, but for now they are playing Dota and they will do what they can. There's a lot of people who are still, big E.Wolves supporters here watching now, doing it for the fans, whatever it may be. They now will get the roast in the Aegis here, and they might be able to dictate the pace now.
So this is where you start seeing the global pressure coming in from Spearbreaker charge. The Sunstrikes have been spot on, and the Nature's Prophet with his Orchid. Finally, they're going to be sitting behind TC in the bottom lane. This is probably what JSN needed to be doing, not now, but earlier on. And if they want to make this play, they have to realize that
charge on TC will connect. The Sunstrike will also. Winter's Curse, though, will lock down Mystico. Van going to be forced to right-click his comrade. Does go down, and they'll get Van. Shazam finally get a bit of momentum back their way with a great counter fight. Just kind of knowing that TC was a supple little target. They wait, and they spring the trap.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And
hey, you did it right. You'd be surprised how many people try to do that saying and absolutely blow it. Good for you.
It's poor guys. And that's the first time I've used that in a cast in a long time. But I was feeling the pressure, Dakota. Now you're putting it on me for if I ever say it again. Thanks, man. But here we go. He's gonna haunt.
Can they get the finish? Well, they're all man, he's forcing him to charge all over the place. That's some nice mind games there from TC, but they still find him. There's still a Sunstrike waiting. Cold Embrace will keep him alive in the meantime. Big Splinter shot does work on Masoku with the cooldown, though. Going to be committed. TC makes it alive, and he retreats. He's going to be good. Brax steps in. And he starts chopping away here for Ewo while Mojo makes the jump for the higher target and Van here. TC's back. He's hustling back in, wants to get his hands dirty, and they will get Van down. Meanwhile, up and above, they will be able to finish off Savage, and they still look for a fight. Mojo sidesteps, avoids the Sunstrike here, while Brax tries to hustle away from Smash. Not going to be able to make it out. He does go down. Smash gets a double kill. And both Mojo and TC were able to make it out alive. 4 for 3 at the end of the day.
That was pretty good initiation coming in from E.Wolves. They know that the Winter's Curse was on cooldown here. That's when you want to do your best job. So that was most of the turnaround. But the Cold Embrace is still there. Helped out a lot for making sure that they could have the turnaround, kept TC alive, and that's all they really need to do. Then the rest of the team came in. So taking out the Aegis, that's going to hurt E.Wolves a lot. They really want to start pressuring the towers, these tier 2s, with that Aegis online with the gyrocopter, him being the frontliner. And Ewo this game, he looks very poor. He looks dirt poor. Top lane, Mojo.
Yeah, Mojo's been flirting around a bit there with Van. Van, though, got the Treant spawned right in front of him, and soon Mojo will have an easy answer for those pesky little Treants. His Battle Fury is pretty much complete here with one more camp to farm. Could take that one, but he is finding his business elsewhere, and then he will have the cleave power to work with it. TC is getting closer to finishing out his defusal, and I mean, yeah, when you compare that over to Ewo, he is a couple of notches down. You look at him on the net worth, and he is, well, very far behind, and definitely will need to play a bit of catch up far from his game 1 experience, but he's going to make his journey there. Looks like he'll lead him with a Yasha grab, but it is Shazam now, smoked up and on the move. They'll take this time to plant a pretty deep ward, but I don't know if they're going to be able to find anything else with it.
And I love how they just do a 3-man smoke. They obviously have the Haunt from Spectre, but you can also boost his travel into those Necro 3s and just be at the team fight whenever they want. So they have these 2 cores constantly farming while they try to get picks here.
Ooh. They spotted out Smash, and he can't get anything off before Brax is able to get off a big roar, but that means they can't do the damage because the curse was so close. It doesn't matter. They're still going to be able to get the finish. They take down Ewo, they take down Smash. 3 go down all day, and they're looking for 4, and they'll be able to get it here. A snowball in for the M-God leads to a triple kill for Mojo Storm Stout. 20-8 Shazam. Very hot right now in game number 3.
Middle tower is under attack.
And they have everything set up perfectly. Like you talked about, Winter Wyvern still doing... It's just still helping with the setup. I'm surprised he didn't try to Tornado and run away. He just tried to use Deafening Blast, or even Ghost Walk away. Maybe they could have saved the Invoker, but everyone else was dead. And the worst part about this is Gyrocopter's not going for BKB. He's going for... well, I mean, it has to be a casual Yasha now into a BKB. If it's Saint and Yasha, they're not even going to have a chance at contesting team fights. He's getting locked down constantly, and
this is only going to get better with time for Shazam.
Yeah,
they have the late game.
Bad.
Without question. I mean, a game going good for Shazam now is just great. Even if the game was breaking even, they would have been happy with that and fine, knowing that they have a tier 1 still in this top lane to work with. And all the meanwhile, they have this insurance policy of a Spectre. Mojo's got his boots of travel, so he can participate globally too if necessary. I mean, things are just going golden right now for Shazam. It would take a pretty big misplay here, or a couple of feeds for E.Wolves to really kind of be able to match up in any upcoming team fight here. We're watching the long highway chase cam here of Mystico, but he is going to be calling up short. And he's even not even going to be able to... He's going to see his jungle die before him. This Van is trying his best and might have to go down plan B here, Ryu, as he already got the Agnum Scepter. We'll have to see how many rat tactics he's going to be able to pull out this game.
Yeah, as I talked about the Ag Scepter in the... I think it was the first game on the Nature's Prophet. It was amazing. This game, it's really bad because you have the Ember Spirit with his Boots of Travel. He can be anywhere on the map, and he can just cleave through all of those treants. So at the end of the day, you're most likely going to be feeding over the treants over to the Ember Spirit, but it's an item you kind of have to go just to keep the pressure on the lanes. So hopefully it'll allow Ewo to free farm in the jungle or anywhere that he can. as we talked about, I mean, the Beastmaster is ahead of him in net worth right now. He has to be that heavy hitter in these team fights. It's not that he's dying too fast. It's that once he comes in, they save the targets, and he doesn't get any of the kills. He's 0, 5, and 5. He needs to have those kills so he can transition to some items. But none of that's happening, and this tier 2 tower is not long for the build.
Looks like it'll be an easy pick here, and Brax will continue to thrive in the farm department. He's got near 1,700 gold if he's looking to save it for a blink. TC not going to be able to make it away with a TP. He might need to haunt to make it away, but they got that Orchid, and they might get this kill. And they will. Big grab for them. He only had a killing spree of bounty, but that's 400 more gold, and this goes to Smash. Now he Midas is up. He just got that ulti orb, and he's already finished off the Lincoln Sphere recipe. That's a nice surplus going his way. It's not enough to really get E.Wolves as a whole back into this game, but Smash's Invoker is also a crucial tool for E.Wolves to kind of crawl back.
As you said, they need to start crawling back, and then they can start, you know, kneeing back or walking back. But SVG, the pressure here, but Mojo's going to come in. Nice Sunstrike.
Oh, he's down, but man, if they can get to Van, it could make it worth it here, and it will. Unstoppable for Mojo now. He's got 3.6k. I mean, going against the Nature's Prophet is going Ags. Is it worth the double Battle Fury, or do you think he could just build up something like, you know, stats? Does he need to get a BKB to worry about the Silence, a Lincoln Sphere, a Scotty? Lots of items out there I could name.
Well, he's since 6-0 right now. I think he's going to feel like he can do anything in these team fights, and I think you should just go for the straight Daedalus and then afterwards the Blink Dagger, or vice versa. You just need to have either good positioning, which he's had this game, and then you could just play full greed mode. So I like that. They're also focusing all of their attention trying to kill TC when he's split pushing, or split farming, I mean. And that just opens up for Mojo, the other split pusher, to come in these team fights.
Becoming the true carry this game already. And
it's like what we saw from Smash the first game. Now it's coming from the M God, Mojo, the true M God.
Lots of pressure here on the towers. Necrobook is already out. Mystico is going to make his move here. Tries to charge back, but there is a remnant away. And everyone will be able to make it out safely from the side of Shazam here. Elite Wolves will be able to save their tier 2, which suffers some big damage down to just about 300 life, but it costs them a full rotation now. While TC has a full top lane to work with here, they have a lingering Ops Ward, which only had about 10 seconds left. Spotted out TC, and the charge is going to be out. Are they going to help? It looks like Van is going to be rotating in here. They got, again, the Orchid. They're looking to time it out with a Sunstrike, with a Nether Strike, and they got him. That's a good solo pick and a good use of that lingering vision, which was actually about to expire.
Yep. So the only person that's kind of holding Shazam back, it's not necessarily TC, it's just that they have this global pressure, and you just sometimes have to give it a little bit more respect. We could see the same thing for Mojo. Eventually he could get caught out because of the Orchid, but they've just been focusing all their attention on TC, and maybe that's just Mojo playing in safer areas to farm or whatnot, but it's definitely helping Elite Wolves keep in this game.
In fact, Shazam had their biggest net worth this game so far, which was only at about 1,500, and they're already about to lose that. So they're not doing a good job being able to hold the economy advantage, and E.Wolves can continue to match up in the farm department here. So, and now especially E.Wolves, look at this, he's able to chunk through a huge ancient stack, and we felt like he really had nothing. Well, he's about to have his BKB here soon, and on top of that, we'll finally be able to double back for the bit of damage. So it was a reliable Yasha, and this Gyrocopter is going to be able to finally do some work in these team fights. So you can't help with that. It's going to be even more pressure before Shazam can kind of get away with having just more levels and more farm, but now you're going to need to make sure you get a proper Winter's Curse. Savage is going to have to be there at the right time with his mech and his snowball to save if necessary. So this will require a bit more finesse from Shazam, where they could have originally just kind of bulldozed their way through him.
So one good thing that just came out, and you mentioned it earlier, was the Ember Spirit possibly getting the Lincoln Sphere. He got it, and that's going to help out if they ever want to know if Spirit Breaker's charging him. It'll immediately cancel. Yeah. And I'm looking at the Sunstrike and the amount of damage coming in from Furion, taking Mojo to half HP.
Yeah, he does pull off. Yeah, and you're right, it will detect out any charges. Does mean, though, if they ever pushes 5, they have that easy Lincoln's popper, and then a follow-up Orchid will be there to kind of silence them out. So it is going to be interesting to see how they play around this Lincoln's. The information's already out there with Mojo showing himself in the mid lane, so Elite Wolves have probably passed the word and will adjust the way they approach their next team fight so that if they want to make a move for Mojo, they'll be able to work past this Lincoln's. So Shazam has definitely quieted down a bit here. What was once a pretty hectic and bloodbath of a matchup has suddenly got a bit more disciplined.
And then now you're starting to see TC's been very scared. He's been picked off 3 times when he's kind of split pushing around the map. So he's really worried. And normally at this stage of the game, you'd be like, oh, let me farm mid lane while my team's going to gank. But we don't know where Elite Wolves are right now. I can't farm.
Good heads up from Smash. He, just as fast as Brax commits into going for the Roche, he has a Sunstrike ready to go. And they cannot do it. So this Necrobook might not be used unless they find a way to quickly de-ward a bit. And he'll get that one, so it's something. But still, not able to kind of make the move for the Roche like they were plotting out. And Mystico continues to be a scout here in this bottom lane. And it felt like at first maybe the intention was to split push this top lane, and it looks like if you wanted to cancel that, it's a bit too late now. I was going to say to cancel any TPs up there, but he'll just continue to wait in the sidelines for now.
So I'm trying to figure out who this is going to be favoring later in the game. Obviously, we talked about the Spectre and the Ember Spirit. We both felt that they would have a better time, especially when...
Sorry, this is the charge
when KotLGuy's dying.
Though Brax wanted to make a jump from Mystico on the way out, and as he blinked into him while he was charging out, he ended up just getting bumped back from the charge. Lost opportunity. Mystico pretty happy about that. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I thought you were dying for a second.
I
was like, my Dakota don't die. So we have bird on bird action, or donkeys versus birds. Donkeys win.
Oh.
Everybody hated that bird.
Bird down and Shazam are going to be split up a bit while E.Wolves begin to clump up here. No smoke in hand quite yet, but there's a lot of tension around this Roche pit. They're already looking to soften it up a bit here. But Brax continues to keep a hawk in the skies so that E.Wolves are not going to be able to easily move into that pit and get it done. Shazam are going to try their best to keep all lanes pushed past the river here. Mojo can do this very easily, as he's doing right now in this top lane. After completing out that Lincoln Sphere, he already has 2,200 gold, so I imagine going for the crit could be next for him. And then being able to keep these lanes pushed forward becomes that much easier, so.
Man, it's so hard to deal with this Furion with his Ags. Oh. You have flashbacks to your pub sometimes where you can't find a hold on the game. We try to smoke play, but then, like you said, trees are just constantly scouting Roche. Sunstrikes are constantly scouting Roche. What play can Shazam really do once all of their lanes are being pushed out? And I think their play is going to have to be maybe just fighting around the Roche pit. It's daytime now, so that'll help out a lot with the Beastmaster Hawk scouting around, and they should definitely try to do it before Elite Wolves have the opportunity to push out all the lanes and just sneak it into Roche themselves.
Brax with his Hawk is able to scout out Masoku, who is warded up the high ground already, so they'll know that something fishy is going on here. And Shazam make their move into their own woods. And we'll hope to see if they can scout anyone kind of looking to invade here. Closest target is Ewo, who does commit to fall down, but is just as fast to pull out from the lane. And until, you know, SVG is able to kind of get a hold of a Blink Dagger here, his catch potential isn't that great. The initiation overall isn't the most significant, with the exception of Brax. Brax will have to be there to kind of probably set the stage for the fight.
Yeah, or if they could get off a really good haunt, showing out all the vision and showing if they're split up, then maybe TC can come in, blow up somebody. He has the Manta style online. So the Witch Doctor is going to die instantly. Doesn't really have anything to save him. And top.
Ooh, they made a move for Mojo. That Lincoln's is popped. They get the silence off, and now they look to go for their own retreat. And oh, Jason not going for the Winter's Curse, goes for Arctic Burn, and the TP does get canceled, or does get away. But they are able to get a hold of Ewo. Yeah, Ewo bottom lane does go down. Good jump in play comes out from
Radiant's
both
top tower is
Savage
under
and
attack.
Brax. And meanwhile, they're trying to get a bit of redemption here. Charges out from Mystico, makes its move for Savage, and with the Nether Strike and with the help from Van, I don't think he's going to have much of a chance here. Savage will go down, and Shazam's new score will be 22 to the 12 of E.Wolves here. E.Wolves do take nearly 1k gold swing just for that one takedown, so a bit of gold their way.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1. At the end of the day, it's a good trade for Shazam. Killing off the gyrocopter, you're shutting him down, but it's about even when it comes to the gold swing because of the same level. Nice snipe out there on the double damage rune. That could have helped out Smash when they're trying to do this Roche. This huge army is kind of showing where that they're doing Roshan here.
They did have a boar already run in there, so they know something's going on. They're taking Roche pretty slowly here. It's only at about half of its life. Mojo's nearby, drops down that safe remnant. His Lincolns will get canceled out from probably the charge. And now they're going to be stalling a bit. Right, the nature will fly, the lanes will be pushed back a bit here. Evo makes his move in, and I think Shazam are just going to have to forfeit this Roche. They're hanging in the neighborhood, but they're not making any commitments. It's a bit too scary for him. He will be able to move in, grabs up the Aegis now. And
that's just one of those things that you don't think about in Dota. When it comes 35, 45 minutes in the game, once you expended all of your smokes early on, I'll talk about that. Are they going to catch out Van? No. But they've expended all their smoke time, and it's daytime. You have to have smokes during the day. It's really hard to catch out heroes, and they don't have one for Shazam. So they can't make that play. They're going to see them walking in, and they're just not going to get off the right ultimates. Obviously, Haunt was down too, so it's really hard for them to make that play.
E.Wolves, though, continue to kind of make their own advancement here back at bottom lane. It's already talked about how TC was feeling a bit hesitant here on where he can actually safely farm without having much intel as far as where E.Wolves are currently. We look at the vision here of Shazam, and you can see they are a bit in the dark, especially with their own side of the map. So he has to find his farm elsewhere, and sharing with Mojo is not the best bet. They will quickly see, though, a push is coming here on the bottom lane. Shazam.
Ewo once again doesn't have his TP. Top guy. What is this?
Oh, luckily for him, though, this time they're not knocking at the high ground.
Right. But if he ever gets initiated on and his team bails, he can't just TP away.
Yep.
He's kind of committed.
We'll probably see this, but they will have to work through that first Aegis here. Tower goes down. He's eating a lot of damage, but they're not going to pull the trigger. Now they might have to. They got to hold a Brax. Good sheepstick comes in from Van. Brax to the low ground. Cold Embrace will save him for now. Snowball on forward, even through the tornado. Big Deafening Blast comes out from Smash. That's going to be the Aegis as Brax is able to get off that Primal Roar. And now Smash looks to man up. Same with Ewo. BKB going to be popped and now looks to make his move here. Still no one goes down from Shazam. Mojo jumps in. He starts slashing them all apart. That's the Daedalus Sleight of Fist. Not enough to take down Smash. Van, though, who bought back, is right in the midst, and he goes down. Mojo, Wicked 6, Sunstrike. Not be enough to finish anyone off. Elite Wolves make their move, going for Brax. That's Van who leads things off, and he walks away from this fight, not losing once, but twice of his lives.
Oh, man, they had everything kind of going right for them from Elite Wolves. JSN used his Winter's Curse on the Lincoln Sphere target, so that they didn't get that control in the team fight, but they just have too much sustain coming in from Tusk. They're not locking down on the Ember Spirit. He's just able to Sleight of Fist constantly. It's becoming very problematic. Just, yeah, locking down the heroes. Mid lane, though, this is going to be really good damage burst onto TC.
And as they roll in for Invoker, they realize they roll into a lot of Elite Wolves. And quickly, Savage will be going down. TC will be the next target. That's a sweet turnaround for Elite Wolves here. Meanwhile, Mojo will be able to push out this top lane a bit. But
why are they there, though?
Yeah, I don't know. They were crossing that river is a dangerous thing at that point, with still so many from Elite Wolves back and alive.
Yeah, and with cooldowns on your side, and they had 8 seconds up left for the Beastmaster Roar, and just really weird.
Still feeling good, though. Mojo is king of net worth here. Not by much, though. He is neck and neck with Smash. And TC begins to fall behind as far as the big 4 cores go from both sides. And Van, who's already been flexing out that sheepstick, now picks up a Mithril Hammer. Do you wager this is for a BKB? It's not really a good BKB game going against a Winter Curse ulti and a Beastmaster ulti, but maybe instead just a Maelstrom?
I would like the BKB. I think you just have to get it just because there's too much lockdown coming in. And we have initiation onto Beastmaster. Not timed correctly, but I don't even think they're going to go for the dive. But back to the point with the BKB, you can't just get Searing Chains and, you know, even if you're off split pushing on your own and you get Beastmaster roared with the Necro 3, you instantaneously die. So I would like to see him go for that, but he's a KotLGuy fan, so he's going to go for the the Maelstrom here. It's going to help him push out even more, add a lot of DPS to the team fights, but I don't know. I do think there's just a lot of damage that can come out. Even the Haunt coming in, we talked about it. The way to survive against Desolate and even the Diffusal Blade now this level 2, dishing out even more damage. You have to get the BKBs.
Desolate, even the Dispersion, everything from Spectre does get nullified quite a bit from that BKB. But yeah, he has opted for the Maelstrom here, hoping to go a bit more on the offensive side. Now they have smoked up.
Well, that blink,
they
know
takes it
where
towards the top. Oh, they're scouting here. Brax with the Eagle, going to be sending it in now, but no commitments from either side yet. Van's not spotted and will step away. So just a bit of footsie play coming out, but no commitment in.
Oh, they have smoke in the bottom lane. They know that. Oh, I think he just saw him go in the trees.
Jason could be in a bit of trouble here if spotted. And he will be. Masoku crosses past with them. On the way is Brax, but Jason quickly takes to the trees, glimmers up, and he will be good. Now they turn around. Brax moves in. They got the rotation from Mojo. Leads to one easy kill, leads to 2 easy kills, and to a gem, which they kind of ignore. Brax, look at the gem. Brax already has his own gem. He doesn't want another one. Jason can pick that one up, I guess, on the way over if he wants to drop his TP or something or wand. We'll see. Or not. He'll ignore it too. Okay. All right, whatever, guys. Who cares, right?
I mean,
moving forward. Anyways, they're going to push down and go for the tier 2. Meanwhile, mid lane, though. Mid lane. Fisticuffs being had. Oh, Winter's Curse does not catch a lot as far as heroes, but it catches a lot of creeps, including Forge Spirits, which begin to go to work here on Van. Van will be able to self-sprout. There's no way to cut out the trees yet, and Savage just sits there and starts eating the right clicks. Van, though, knows he's going to be forced to not be able to make it away. There's the urn. They easily wait for TC to show up and get that kill.
Well, they might be able to kill Brax here. 6 seconds left on the blink. 5 for Invoker, and they won't be able to catch him.
Tornado obviously won't catch. They got the vision, though. Rocket comes in. We'll knock him. Mojo will lose his Lincoln's charge. Smash will be forced to Ghost Walk and run, but Brax has that gem. Dagger's going to be out. There's the slow. He drops an Ice Wall. Then they got the Diffusal. Blink across comes in from Mojo. Sleight of Fist, sidestep, avoids the Death Ward, but there's going to be the Roar, and they move in and start slashing apart all of E.Wolves here. Though that Death Ward still continues to be charged up, Masoku gets in some great damage, and they already lose 3 from the side of Shazam.
Oh, the turnaround. Oh, no.
Mojo, though, with a good snipe, takes down the Gyro, and looking for Masoku, gets a huge crit there, and a Sleight of Fist kill. Makes things all the better for Shazam. Godlike play right now for Mojo.
9-0-14. Our new star, our new hope for NA Dota for the mid lane, Mojo. Please come back to the old days of where he was on EG, taking up that mid lane. Didn't really work out for him back then, but he has the potential. He's always been a really good player, and right now is putting on a clinic.
We'll be able to easily take care of all these little creeps. And the pressure comes back the way of Shazam. Look at this graph. Bing, bong, bing. Back up we go. 3K plus net worth advantage for them. Van, though, going to be back on the prowl. Has his Mjolnir recipe complete. Near 2K.
Oh, top lane.
But Brax is coming in. Van. Hello. Hello, Van.
That was the only play, though, to try and kill off that catapult. He doesn't have a blink dagger. Maybe you should have thought about going for that or something, but at that point you really wish you had an Iron Talent to go to right click that catapult for half HP and right click it or something, but maybe even a Midas on Prophet.
Fortunately, he doesn't have those, and he will now be sitting on the sidelines for about 50 seconds without a buyback. Shazam probably know that, and they will make their move in, easily clearing out a tier 2. We'll see if they begin to toy with the high ground here. Mojo generously walks into a tornado here as Smash will be able to quickly clear out the push. Free sigil gold. And this is going to be the siege of Shazam here. We'll have to see if E.Wolves have a respectable enough high ground defense. I mean, you got Coconut and Death Ward with a call down. Good choke point fighting here. And we'll have to see. I don't think Shazam are going to be able to get a whole lot done. Not yet, at least. And they will pull off.
Very scary when you're fighting against the Invoker. We talked about it before. If this does... We talked about it in like the first game of our series with the Invoker when you're sieging high ground, but both teams are going to have a really hard time unless they get caught outside the base here.
Charge is coming in, but it will be quickly canceled. But look who has spotted out some trouble here. Up in the lane.
Dead.
Yeah, Gyro could be in trouble, but Savage also in trouble himself. Deathward going to be dropped now, but quickly changed up and canceled, and he begins to cleave through, not just him, but Van. Very generous Jason decides to save Van for now, or at least take the kill for himself with the help of the Treon Protectors. And it's going to be a 1-for-3 trade, but Evo jumps in, gets hit with a crit. Sunstrike will be there to help. The Cold Embrace locks him in his own position. 3 for 2 now.
We'll pop BKB to kill Necro Books. Good stuff. Also, he bought back. So.
All right, that's a buyback. A final life here for Evo if Shazam can make some work happen.
They just don't have the tools to really take down these frontliners. Obviously, with TC having the heart, super tanky, and it's just the vision factor coming into play when they try to make these cute plays outside of the base instead of just split pushing with your Nature's Prophet. You're going to get burned every single time.
It's just, you know, do you think part of it is Nature's Prophet? Is it really a Van kind of a hero? We're used to seeing him play like AM and Slark. I mean, is Nature's Prophet, you know, something he should just be able to know how to play and pick up? For me personally, and we know that I'm not a pro, it's just, it doesn't feel like it suits his playstyle. Or as Bulba says, I don't see his face on that hero.
No, it's the kind of the same thing we talked about with OD on Mojo. It looks weird as all hell, and it didn't work out at all for them. He played 2 different heroes, and he's stomping on both. I don't think he's died once. He might have died once last. I don't even think so, and he hasn't died once this game. So really comfortable on these heroes. Same thing for Van. It's really weird seeing on him in these off-lane situation, and then put him in the Nature's Prophet. Yeah. Itemization this game has been good, but not great. Where if he has maybe a Blink Dagger, he survives a lot of these team fights, or something. Maybe Rat a little bit better, but...
Oh, Masoku. They yell at him, they cut him up, they shoot him down. It's hard to watch, but he pays the price. He sacrifices his own life to get that just bit of intel, I suppose, and what Shazam are up to. And now seeing the Witch Doctor down and having the advantage in numbers, Shazam just gladly move into the Roach Pit and will be able to snag up an Aegis and a Cheese here. Aegis will be going for a TC, and the Cheese was picked up by Jason here. So.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Shazam now have the tools, have the extra life. How long do you think they need to wait before it's time to cross the river, Ryu, and finally make a big move inside the base of E.Wolves here? It might happen sooner than later. They made their move for Van with the help of a Haunt and a rotation in from Mojo. That global presence is too troublesome for this Nature's Prophet. They're not done yet. They're looking to go for Smash. He's able to blink away. Nice tornado, man. He is creating the space for himself and will be able to hastily make it away. He is a fugitive on the run. And he will be able to make it away.
Van on the run. Down, down, down.
Perfect if it was Van. Van on the run.
On the run.
Smash, though. Smash makes his way to mid lane, but comes Jason. He has Winter's Curse. Could block him there, but mid lane they made the cutoff from Mystico instead. And Mojo. Oh, not going to be able to get him. The Glimmer Cape comes in time. Oh, he shows himself. Remnant! Oh, it doesn't
Radiant's middle tower is
Savage
under attack.
makes his move for him instead. They're on pursuit. Shard, Snowball. Got him. With the uppercut, we'll be able to pull it down. And now they look for Smash here. Smash tries to go into Ghost Walk here to avoid the trouble, but obviously they got the vision. EMP will be his last dying breath, but nonetheless, it's still all Shazam here. 40-19. Mojo gets another kill under his belt, now pushing up to a 14-0 and 17 performance on this Ember Spirit. It looks like finally Shazam have found the window to kind of hop through and inside the house of E.Wolves.
Dire's middle tower is under
And
attack.
Invoker has to buy back just to stall here. TC's gonna have no mana to work with for this first time, but it's a good death ward.
Sunstrike, though, not going to be there. And he'll get the help from a Glimmer Cape and a Cold Embrace. Still, though, needs more time. Even the generous heal coming out. He's got a heart, though, and now it's going to be active, and suddenly he'll have 3k life. Not trouble at all for Shazam.
That's the problem when you make that play and you don't commit fully for it. Then he's just back to full life, and now you don't have these ultimate online with the Witch Doctor. That could hurt out a lot for the team fights, but you just have to make these plays, though. If they don't kill the Spectre off early, I don't know. And he has 3 lives right now. He could even bait it out. Bait first life, bait second life, buyback, haunt in. There's so many plays he can make right now.
Shazam continue to play the slow game, and they split it up a bit. Mojo tickling at this top tier 3, while the rest of Shazam make their work in the mid lane. Call out for Van to kind of make more split push action happen. He pops out the Wrath of Nature and begins to make his presence known here at the bottom lane, but he's got quite a journey to go, and he's in fact made his appearance back here. Pop is on the linkage. He's trying to get close enough for the Orchid. Can't get close, and Brax jumps onto him instead. Disaster for Van. He's out for 80 seconds. Will not be able to buy back, and this could be the beginning of the end. Evo tries his best, drops the call down, pops his BKB, but he is getting hit and hit hard here from both TC and from Mojo. But TC getting hit himself. Can't walk through the ice wall, and Cold Snap in that Death Ward. Easily takes care of the Aegis. He has a second life, though, after all, and Mojo jumps in, gets the cleanup on the Witch Doctor. They go for the tier 3, and this could quickly be the game for Shazam.
It's just a weird play to make. I don't know why he just didn't keep pressuring in the bottom lane, or they really saw the opportunity maybe to pick off Mojo, but I mean, he has 11,000 gold right now. There's no way. There's no way. You can just rim them back now. They can get the mid racks, and I'm trying to calculate if they'll be up in time. Nope. That's Smash dead. That's over.
It's over. Smash now out for nearly 2 minutes without a buyback. This is easily 2 racks. They'll be able to take these down. And that will be the game. Shazam have secured their spot into the semifinals, making their way past Elite Wolves 2-1 in this best of 3. All right.
So what looked like a kind of a stomp the first game, or just really good play coming in from Elite Wolves, completely turned around these last 2 games, where even though the game lasted for 51 minutes here, we talked about it, where if it goes later into the game, Ember Spirit and Spectre are just going to start taking over, as well as the Beastmaster. And the best part about this game was when Elite Wolves tried to make so many plays around the map with Spirit Breaker and Nature's Prophet and even the Invoker around times, but you had Boots of Travel with Ember Spirit, Beastmaster, Spectre, Haunt. I mean, they were every single where, and they were ready for the counter plays constantly from Elite Wolves, and there was just no room to breathe at all. I mean, the Furion's supposed to apply pressure, but with that Ember Spirit last pick, it was perfect to counteract all the split pushing nonsense that could come in from Van, and it was an all-around good play from Shazam, and sayonara, Elite Wolves.
See you later, Elite Wolves. We're uncertain what is in store for them for the future, if we'll be seeing more Dota from them or not. But their journey here with BTS Americas has concluded. And with that, Shazam will move on. We'll take a look at the updated bracket. And as you can see, Shazam will now match up against Animal Kingdom in the semifinals on the top of the bracket. Well, we're not done yet today. RyuUboruZDotA, it's been an absolute pleasure, of course, casting with you again. I'm sure we'll be seeing you again as we reach the back end of BTS Americas. But we will go ahead and just let you go now. So you can make any. Where can people follow you and support you before we just get you the hell out of here?
Damn, kicked already. But thanks for having me, Dakota. It's my pleasure casting with the all-time greats, and you being not one of them, but it was a pleasure still nonetheless casting with you, and I'm looking forward to casting more with you, my friend. It's always a pleasure, and you can follow me at RyuUboruZDotA on Twitter. If you like my casting, please show me some love over there. You can send me some feedback too if you want. If my casting's bad, awful, good, whatever, just tell me how it is, and I'll hopefully be back, like Dakota said, for another round.
Thank you so much, RyuUboruZ. What happens now, since this first best of 3 did start a bit earlier? There will be a bit of an intermission. It's about 3:20 p.m. here Pacific, but our next series is not set to begin until 6 o'clock. So we have just under 3 hours until we will begin. That next matchup,
my God, 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours. So
Popcorn,
I get to
movie
eat.
time.
I get to eat. It's just nice. Everyone can take a moment to eat, have some dinner / lunch / breakfast if you're coming from way overseas. But when you do come back, it should be at about 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for Infamous versus Pain Gaming, an all South American affair. Should be a good time. I'll cut to a break now. I will update the splash screen. I'll keep the stream live so you can continue to enjoy the music, but we'll see you in just under 3 hours for Infamous versus Pain Gaming. It will be myself and Mott. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.